Right, we are minutes away from a deadline imposed by Donald Trump some time ago for them to either reach this deal to secure a trilateral with the US, Mexico and Canada, or for the United States to go it alone with Mexico and Canada be sidelined from this near 25-year-old trade pact between those three nations. We understand that's not happening anymore, that it's been brought back from the brink. It has been salvaged. It's no longer called NAFTA. Let me give you the new name, the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement. It's not as catchy, but you are going to hear USMCA said a lot more over the coming days, weeks and months. There was a statement, a joint statement from the chief negotiators from both the US and Canada on this development. It said it will strengthen the middle class and create good, well-paying jobs and new opportunities for nearly 500 million people who call North America home. A bit vague. We are expecting more details over the coming hours and days. But what is expected to be in this new deal? The US is expected to get greater access to Canada's dairy market. That's something Donald Trump had been highly critical of for some time. The United States may allow Canada to keep an important dispute settlement tool that it wanted to protect. Looks like it's going to get that. Higher limits on online shopping that can be done tax-free. And, of course, that all-important Canadian auto industry. It exports some $56 billion worth of cars across the border every year. It was worried about being penalised by Donald Trump in the form of tariffs. Perhaps that's not going to be the case anymore. That 25-year-old pact for now has a new name, but it stays in principle the same. And that accounts for, of course, $1 trillion worth of trade. So quite a big moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are so many free trade agreements around the world, but this is supposed to be among the very biggest, if not the biggest. So let's just repeat that it is, in fact, a trilateral agreement between those three countries rather than bilateral. It's important. And no one, of course, Kevin, wants to admit that they've been bullied by their big brother, by the United States, by President Trump. So we just heard Justin Trudeau saying it's a good day for Canada. The Mexican foreign minister has tweeted it's a good night for Mexico and for North America. But Donald Trump's going to take all the credit, isn't he?
Of course, he's the master deal maker. You know, he said that this was a terrible deal from the start. He promised to tear it up, renegotiate it, then he said later on he would do that instead. And then here we are, 30 months of negotiators butting heads and Donald Trump chipping in. And of course, there was that moment, wasn't there, when he was being interviewed, and there was an off-the-record moment, or so he thought, when he said, look, this is all going to be done on US terms. And really that sort of threw a grenade into proceedings just a few weeks back, but they've managed to reconvene. They've managed to strike what looks like a deal. But you're absolutely right. Donald Trump will take this moment and he will propel it to the top of his speeches on the campaign circuit between now and the midterms. Of that, you can be certain.